Hi, Samantha. Hi, Arturo. How are you both?
Hi, good. How
Good.
are
How are
you?
you?
Yeah, great. Thank you. And really excited to speak to you both about this film because I had such a great time watching it. But I think the first thing I wanted to bring up was I thought, perfect casting, which was Angourie Rice and Jenna Fisher as mother and daughter. So could you maybe talk a little bit about how that came about? Because just what a perfect combination.
It really is. They truly seem like mother-daughter, kind of in
Yeah.
every way
They
too.
have the same spirit too.
Yeah, they're both extremely sweet and just so like thoughtful and like well studied. Like they
Yeah.
literally could be mother-daughter.
Yeah, it was and obviously they also look alike, like a little bit,
Yeah.
And I just thought like because the connection has to be so strong so early, like someone like Jenna brings so much like that you just love her, and like to like watch her kind of like bring Angari under her wing is like so cool.
Yeah. And I know, I mean, we already had Angauri on board and we were looking for the perfect mom. And I mean, just like you were saying, when you see Jenna Fisher, you're like, is that Angauri's mom? So it was just the perfect fit. And Jenna was an absolute angel on earth to work with on set as well. So we got really lucky with that combination.
Oh, fantastic. And I was talking to Jaquel yesterday, and he was talking about how Revenge Party was a really challenging song to shoot because it was such a long time. He said he felt like he was almost doing parts of it on a weekly basis. But for the two of you, was that the most challenging one as well, would you say, or was there another that really stuck out to you?
It was a tough one to crack,
Yeah.
because it is such a long song, and it happens over so much amount of time, and especially the beginning. Like, I think until we cracked the like what it actually was, like what is at its core, what is Revenge Party, like what are Damien and Janice trying to do?
Yeah, I think
And you
we
like you
we
cracked
realized
it.
well, we realized that it was a pitch essentially that they were giving to Katie, and they had to make this pitch seem like the most amazing, incredible, bubbly thing
And
possible.
at that point,
So
like Katie is like a little bit naive still, that she hasn't turned into a plastic. It's right before she turns into a plastic. So like she doesn't want to hurt Regina, like she knows better,
yeah,
but
so they're really gonna have to convince her. So then it's like if we're going with this thought that we've kind of established at the beginning and throughout the movie that Janice and Damien truly are the like almost directors of this movie, then how would they do this pitch? And they're the art freaks, you know? So it's like, okay, so it's like, let's just like after school, we'll take over the art wing. We'll like get all of our friends
yeah.
and we'll like DIY it and craft it ourselves and like put this like multimedia presentation together for Katie.
And it would have to be like the most colorful, like the most
Yeah.
colorful, because like she doesn't want to hurt anybody, like, but like if you look deep, like into the makeup and stuff, like you see like Jack Wells crying, like, like, and it's like there's different little things that
Yeah,
are
there's
kind of
like glitter blood and gore and all this kind of, kind of hard edge kind of stuff in there because,
so
they're going to
they're
do
trying to sell
a
a
very
bad thing
a sinister thing.
as a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just really incorporating all kinds of dynamic movement throughout the scenes, just making it all seem like, we're going through 3 months of the school year. So really just making it seem like we're passing through time. This is all
Yeah.
incorporated in kind of one thought.
So
So
like
so it was a lot of pieces, and yes,
so
absolutely, we had to break it up, and we were doing a little bit every single day. We all had a revenge party stuck in our heads forever.
it took 3 weeks of us completely locked in a house to crack it. We
Wow.
tried everything. We tried like I remember we were like, what could it be? What could it be? What could it be? What could it be? And then when it finally like cracked, it felt like it did feel like a confetti party.
Oh, that's amazing because, as I said, it was one of my favorites in there because it is so elaborate, so colorful, and there's so many layers. But for both of you, when you're bringing this story from the stage to the screen, but then of course you have that 2004 movie in the background as well. What would you both say were some of the biggest challenges of finding the right balance of pulling inspiration from both of those, but then also doing something new for obviously a much different audience of today?
I think it was really important to, honor the like the cultural zeitgeist that has come about from this movie for the past 20 years. It was really important to us to honor the original fans, us being
for sure.
some of them for sure.
For sure.
So, and also understanding that this is a new thing for a new generation, and that the Broadway show, while it's so much fun, we saw it when it came out, that is so specifically beautifully for Broadway. So it's really about how to adapt it to screen for maybe a larger audience who wouldn't necessarily, maybe they're not into seeing something like listening to kind of the Broadway sound, you know, and opening up the palette and making
and opening
it
up the tent too of more people that enjoy musicals, because
Yeah.
like, musicals are fucking cool, you know, like they're cool. And it's just like I remember when I saw like Romeo and Juliet, you know, like that was my first experience of seeing a musical that touched me to my core, you know? And I feel like that expanded the tent for me to enjoy musicals, you know? And I feel like we could keep expanding it, you know? And I feel like that's what's like that's what was
Yeah,
that
also
one
the
was-
fact that that like blows my mind every time that social media was not around 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So incorporating that into this telling of it kind of like just makes the story more pertinent than ever for us. So that was exciting too, just bringing the message to kids today who have to deal with the issues of today. It just felt like it totally tracks with this audience.
Yeah, well, it all came together great, and I love the positive messages of the film. And I know you mentioned being longtime fans, of course, having that Lindsay Lohan cameo in the movie that meant a lot to people and a very cool throwback. So, what did it mean to you to bring her on board and to have that little throwback to the 2004 film?
Oh, it was an out of body experience. I mean, the 14-year-old girl in me was screaming like she could not concentrate that day, you know.
couldn't sleep the night before.
No, I was just so excited. I mean, it was such an honor to have her on, and we were just so delighted to have her. And she was so warm and wonderful with the cast too. And it was
wonderful watching both Katies talk.
Yeah.
You know, when they're like just like, because we were doing the mathletes, so you know it takes time for things to set up and everything, and they were just in like the auditorium just talking. And I was just like, what? Like I would just want to be like, what could they be like? I just like,
I know they were. It was such a happy day. Yeah, we were absolutely thrilled to have her.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. And you can probably see from my background, I'm a comic book fan, so I'm used to post-credit scenes, and I loved that there was just a little something at the end of the movie, for this one. So where did the inspiration to include that come from? Because I know it's a brief scene, but it's a really fun little moment, I thought, especially for those who stick around.
Which one? The one the main on ends, or the very, very last thing?
Yeah, the very, very last one. Yeah. Right
Oh, I'm glad you stuck around. That's a good sign.
Yeah.
Just like Regina and Avantika.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scene.
Yeah. It just feels like it was so it was just like it came from.
I mean, it was originally in the scene, right?
Yeah.
And then we shot it, and then we pivoted a little bit and shot it a different way, and we had this amazing nugget of them looking at the camera saying "You're next," and it just felt like the perfect little button at the end, because plastics are always gonna try to make more plastics. Like they're never gonna stop. This whole thing is just gonna keep going. Now, 20 years from now, So
It's true. Maybe it's like a little nod to like the next time that like there's a new we like there's a new way of communicating. It's like or a generation many generations from now, a nod to them.
I thought it was just a great little way to cap off a really fun film that I loved. So thank you both for taking the time to talk today, because I hope people will check this out if they haven't already, because as I said, it was a blast. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Means so much, man.
Great to meet you.
You too. Congrats on the film.
Thank you so much.